Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 8 of Sandwald's The Armored Heart. It's been a real wild ride for the dwarves of Sandwalds. First, they took refuge down here in the wastelands while being encroached by the goblin forces, which are, weirdly enough, not even in war with us. And at the end of the day, before we knew it, we were flooded by a huge pile of population, which was mostly me misplaying with some settings, but I took it as part of the narrative, because who wouldn't want to leave from this situation here? As far as I can see, this ain't even a proper dwarven fortress. Anyways, today we're watching our cistern getting sticked out with a, or stacked out with a well, so that's a really good one. And with the amount of people filling up our ranks here at Sandwalls, it becomes more and more important that our defenders here become stalwart. As it is the simple logic of the game, the default settings are starting from a population of 80, you can get raided by goblins. Full on siege and all. And they will do so. They will do so. We all know that they will do so, and therefore we're training our soldiers. We're right on time with that, but the timely pressure of this situation is much higher than in a regular session, as we are currently just, way ahead of our time. In the spring of the year 102, usually in a vanilla run or in a normally configured run, I should rather call it, this wouldn't be happening. I'm very happy to see how my system here works, though. Another thing that I want to bring up today is I want to finally get the hospital going. So we're making now the traction benches that it requires. And we are going to assign this area to be a hospital. There we go. New hospital. We also need to assign a chief medical dwarf, which will be the dwarf of the day, Bear, as a Gastvutok. Alrighty. So, let's check out that fine young lady and see who we have here as our chief medical dwarf. Like others in her culture, no, that is here. She's very polite and observes appropriate rules of decorum when possible. She doesn't seek out excitement. She does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and she is conflicted by this as she values artwork and its creation. She does not often feel lustful. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her. She thinks she's fairly important in the grand scheme of things. Oh yeah, you are now. And she tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions. She tends to be swayed by the emotions of others. She has an active imagination. She inhales sharply when she is angry. Alright, all in all, I think she's an excellent candidate for being a chief doctor. Hey, look at that. Gemstones. Sardonyx. Yum. And there's also a huge amount of dead cave spiders here. Oh, look at that. We can collect cave spider webs here. It's a natural habitat for them critters. Fun. That's cool. So we can make our own spider silk cloth without even being at risk of in any way. Anyways, our second squadron, the last tombs, are also getting their stuff together here, starting to train downstairs. In the previous episode, we fully geared out both of the squads. I'm still a little bit confused by Gorax. I assume that it just doesn't work to gear him out, as for one, he has a full suit of own gear, and for another thing, I think he's not a full part of our society yet. I don't know. The mercenary category I'm not that familiar with, so maybe the wise comment section knows something about that topic. So, we have a mayor! Well, things are coming together, and I forgot to put asterisks on our chief medical dwarf. So, of course, the mayor will be a main protagonist here. That is pretty much a no-brainer. That makes up our second dwarf of the day. Brilliant. So, Golden Hollow Boots. Hello there. So, the mayoress, she prefers to be alone. What a good start. She desires little for herself in the way of possessions. She has a low sense of self-esteem. She's quick to form negative views about things. She's trusting. She doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living, and she is particularly curious about the world. She is a friendly individual. She sometimes acts with little determination and confidence, and she tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. She likes to brawl. She often acts with compassion. She's assertive, and she holds her breath when she's nervous. So, Godan, you are one of the weirdest mayors that I've ever seen, but, you got elected. I would assume she didn't pick up that task for herself. Sometimes the task gets picked for you. Now, this is something that requires us to have a own little apartment area for the mayor. So let's make her a nice apartment suite. There we go. Coincidentally, right next to the water supply. So there we go. Let's put the siltstone flooring down real quick. If it ain't the material that is necessary for the citadel construction, we are really fast with building things. Which brings me to the point that I meant to know. This is the claystone pile in it. Yep. So we probably need to dig out a little bit more claystone, do we? Let's check this out. I mean, I love how this fortress is coming together. It is, she's a beauty already. And I do like the pragmatic approach that I took. It's growing on me. Put it down like that. I really didn't know how to make the city, and well, it's coming together. All right. So here goes a huge claystone excavation operation. And we have a ban on exports. The export of toy hammers is henceforth forbidden. Alright, as long as it is just toy hammers, let's see if we can create toy hammers specifically. Sometimes there are mayors that are worse than others. But, this one is already pretty on the nasty side, is it? Toy hammer, yeah, so fun. We're unable to assign a direct production on toy hammers. Problem about this is that if somebody fails to fulfill a mandate of the mayors, this is considered to be a crime. Oh sheesh, we have our first sociopath in our midst. So, snatchers. But let's stay on the sociopath thing while I'm gearing out the bedrooms here. So, what we got here is a situation where we have a mayor who's going to ask relatively often for toy hammers now. Toy hammers can't be produced by themselves, yada yada yada. I already went through that. The thing is just, if somebody is committing a crime, they can get assigned a hammering, which is basically a dwarven death sentence. I find it extremely, extremely weird of this guy that he's going to get people through the hammerer because of the failing production of a toy hammer. This is madness. If I ever saw madness, this is how it looks like. Alright, so that's something to digest in it. Let's hope that I can make it quite easily by just assigning toys. Maybe I can specify that. Anyways, up until then, does the weaponsmith make that? He does. Brilliant. So we need a armor stand and a weapon rack now. Whoop. And there we go. And the snatchers. So that's a dad goblin. Had a run in with the swords dwarfs. So Wow! What an opener. A stab in the throat. I think that guy was pretty quickly a goner. Let's see, the other ones of these, they are in panic and scuttling around there. So, well, the mountainous honesties can take... Whoa, there he goes. That's been a nasty splatter movie for them gobs. But that's what you get if you think you can kidnap our kind. So, yeah, we're going to send the rest of the squad after him, as I personally think this is a pretty good training for our military. There he goes. Splat. But chunked over the ridge of the wall there. I love it. Well done! The mountainous honesties have struck, whatever. You know what I want to say. Alright, let's get back to the mayors. Yeah. Cabinet production is still a little bit behind. We have the diorite, so things will come together in time. We're going to bring up the armor stand and the weapon rack. Proper signs of decorum. There we go. So, last but not least, bedroom for the mayor. Dining hall for the mayor. And the office for the mayor. There we go. So, does that please you? Not yet. So we're going to send the smoothers, and then we're going to send the engravers. And if that all fails, I'm going to add windows. So, a human caravan has arrived. Welcome. Good to see you, friends. After all, I think the humans can prove to be viable allies. If they can keep their hands by themselves, that is. You see, humans have a tendency to be greedy. It's just maybe a commonality between dwarves and humans. Who knows? So we're going to make a corpse stockpile over here, as there's bodies, and I want to make a refuse stockpile, as there's always something to be put down here. And we're going to put that in front of the... There it goes. Alrighty, so this fort needs some trade goods. I think we're going to go for toy hammers. No, it's a crime to export them way too often. Although I really feel like I would like to. Anyways, let's send the broker and do some trading. Alright, so for today I really want to focus on the construction of the fort and consolidate what we got. Also, I need to really find out where we can expand our city into. So, the humans brought a lot of food to us, but apart from that, there is pretty much nothing that we'd require. Well, we are taking the exotic tastes of the leaves and fruits and the plants that they got. Pay our thanks in cherry opals and sardonyxes. Jeez, they are not worth much. And that's green one. There we go. So it's technically not necessary for us to buy all these wares, but practically the happiness of your dwarves is so much higher if you happen to have various kinds of booze. I just made that experience so many times. And as a nice add-on, we should probably bring up another still here. Things might become a little bit tight with only one. As a nice add-on, sometimes it just matches the taste of somebody, as dwarves have their preferences, you know? There we go. So for starters, there's not enough barrels to go around. Makes me kind of wonder if we want to make a couple of barrels. Come on, barrels! So, barrels can also be made out of metal. That's cool. But, well... Not down. Not down with that. Alright. So, let's check back with our Subterran squad. So, the thing about these is I really think I need to let them do their thing for a while before we can consider going for something bigger for them. I mean, I have a pretty big interest in opening up this area here, as it is offering a vast amount of trees. We would be able to access so much extra wood here. It's really amazing. So everything at its time, you know. But this is going to be very, very interesting for us in the long run. Also, there is a tetrahedrite to be excavated here. But if I remember correctly, we have... Well, we'll see about that. I don't know how careful we need to be. So, petitions. No, we're not taking bards. So, Godin got re-elected. Was that election just a moment ago? Did I miss something? Well, for whatever reason, the dwarves reassert the rulership of Godin another time. Well done, I guess. And let's just hope that what I'm doing here will ultimately fill the cistern. I think it should. I think it just does take some time. I end up being impatient with these things pretty much every time I do this. So, let's send the engraver to modify the mayor's quarters. I really don't know why I have such a knack for these 3-on-3 quarters for my mayors. I do that so often, I know, but I love them. I always liked this idea to have a apartment suite where you got several rooms for yourself. Okay. Tell you what I want to do. I want to have some gabbro blocks. I know I'm going crazy on them rock blocks this run, but the thing is, I want gabbro flooring on the entire area down here. Two reasons for that. For one, it just looks so much nicer when we got flooring everywhere, and gabbro is just darned available. It's one of those stones, if you go downstairs deep enough, it's one of them that pretty much comes around pretty much every time. So we're going to rely on that. And the nice, just quaint gray flooring is just perfect in my book for the roads inside of a fort. That's just good stuff. I like the brown and white snow here. And like I said, sand walls. Has to be sedimentary rocks. I really like the whole thing so far. There we go. Does take quite a while though until the claystone blocks are all manufactured. But, well, the thing is, stonecutters just get better at what they do the more often they do. So, at the end of the day, making a lot of blocks makes you faster at making blocks. I love this about Dwarf Fortress, as this means that whatever is the specialty of your fort, after a while, your dudes will be super good at it. So, gabbro, we don't have a stockpile for that now, do we? Abracadabro. I make a stockpile. Because that's really, really important that we got that stuff right on spot here. It's not good if people have to do their hauling without wheelbarrows. Nuh-uh. Don't do that to your haulers. They go so darn slow. So, another oyster. A dwarf. Candle nuts. Crescent moons. Ginkgo. Square cut gems. Attraction bench. Hey, that reminds me. Thank you. And a image of single cut gems. So let's see. Yeah. That works out already. Maybe the iron furniture did the trick. Maybe it wasn't the art. So what do we have here? Oh, the creation of a artifact. Now then. Look at us! We just got magnetite. We just struck a vein. Now, that is what I call a lucky strike. This is really cool, as this means iron is just something we got in sheer amounts. That's good. After all, we want to be the fort that produces all the expeditionary goods for the Banner of Shadow. And nothing beats a huge stockpile of iron and steel. There we go. Alright, so let's check back down up here. So we're going to remove now, I think the lid is finally finished. I'm going to remove now these pieces of wall here. Let's do like that, I think. Nah, let's do it like that exactly. I like it. I'm going to make 2 doors there, so let's make sure it's symmetric. There we go. So we're going to need to floor this as well at the end of the day. I really don't know yet what we're going to do with these, but I love the idea out of the comment section to make bedrooms for the soldiers and put up the entire infrastructure for them. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. We're going to make a real castle out of this. Got plenty of ideas, and it's quite pleasant to build a proper fortress again. After the last fort was more about the machinery inside, and more people are arriving. Sandwalls is attracting all the people that were scattered in the lands. That's what I think. So we got a bone carver, we got a hunter, we got a fish cleaner, a farmer, a lye maker, a thresher, doctor, surgeon. Which reminds me, I still haven't made the hospital. And I still haven't assigned any doctors, so let's change that ASAP. So, traction bench, traction bench. It's a small hospital, admittedly, but it'll do the trick. So, let's see. Bear is obviously going to be the doctor. And we got a diagnostician, got a surgeon. Look at us. We're, except for a bone doctor, we're, as a matter of fact, pretty well set up. But we got a, no, I just misclicked. So we got an entire set of proficient doctors here. Who would have thought? Certainly not me. Wow. This fort is in competent hands. So, 2 guilds have been established, so that means guild halls are in order. What a lovely thing. So, the guild hall of the crafts dwarfs, we're going to bring that down here. I'm already preparing for that because it's right now just a matter of time until they ask for it. Well, let's just make it 2 wide or 3 wide. Yeah, this looks good. So, let's make a bit of a fun shape here. Let's make something like that, probably. Probably not, as it is not evenly shaped like that. Maybe if we do it like this. That's better. Merely the entrance is now quite unpleasant to look at. Rumors. Alright. So, yeah, the farmers, they also need a guild hall. Well, the farmers guild hall, well, the problem that I got is that this is barely qualifying as farming what we're doing so far. But obviously we got enough farmers that they want a guild hall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the farmers guild hall closer to the city. I don't want to put this near to the entry level, as I don't think that this would be a smart idea. At the end of this, we might be even considering to bring the farming up to this level, or down to this level, as we have a pretty nice access to the aquifer here. So we can easily make a little flooded room where we have then the option to do proper irrigations and such. Alright, That's a sweet one. It's probably a little bit over proportioned, but whatever. We got the room, don't we? So, let's leave that petition thing running for a hot second. Yeah. I like how the city is slowly coming together. More mudstone is being excavated. That's also really good, as we need that later for more constructions. Reminds me of the mudstone. Probably can be stocked up again. The claystone, not the mudstone. Here we go. Okay. So food and drink wise, we are fully stocked out. This is no big surprise, as we were importing a vast amount of food now from the humans. But I figured that this kind of wealth, this kind of easygoing feeling of life, is exactly what brings you back to well, a hopeful style of life, a hopeful way of thinking. And you know, these guys, they are rebuilding their society. Let's give them the feel of that. So we're going to use shale for these, as I want to make it a different optic compared to the rest of the city. So let's see, we still got enough shale, don't we? It seems so. Alright, let's accept the Farmer's Guild Hall. And I think it might be also time to consider decorations and cultural items of sorts, like statues and the like. So this is going to be the Farmer's Guild Hall. Congratulations, dear farmers, you got a really sick big guild hall. Just smoothing out the walls so the artist can work soon. And the mayor's bedroom is not to her liking yet. Well, alright. That is a shame, as there's only a cabinet being delivered to this place, and that's that. Well, we'll see what we can do about that. Once the cabinet is delivered, that is. Okay, so a lot of dwarves are sleeping in dormitories. So I realize right now. This is not necessarily a good sign. Also, I think I need to check with the animals. As we had new arrivals, this always means that there's new people bringing new animals. Alright. There we go. So the supply situation upstairs here needs to be improved, as the soldiers still need to go downstairs for their needs. I'll be upgrading that over the time, but currently, as you see there, the production of the mudstone is still overburdening the fort of sorts. But apart from that, this place is busy and brimming with life. Ah, yeah. Cistern is slowly filling. Wonderful. So this makes us, this gives us a really huge amount of water to work with. Although it's not going as fast as I want it to. But, well, it is what it is, I suppose. Can do one more thing, though. We can clap it open here as well. So more water will flow downstairs. I mean, ultimately, this entire place will then be flooded. So we need to take care of that here. So this staircase here needs to be sealed off, as it will become a liability. Right now, the people will use it still as a shortcut here, but we need to stop this before it floods the fort, which it will eventually if I don't take care of it. Well, luckily I know what I'm doing. It has been a security issue from right from the get-go now that I look at it closer. But, well, what'll happen now is that the water coming out of the walls here will ultimately fill up this chamber, and then it will drop down here where it will fill the entirety here, and eventually this stairwell here will become unusable. But luckily we got this stairwell here as the main entry. I mean, I need to relocate and refabricate these things all together in general, as it's just not working out yet. Logistics are not fully functional yet. I knew that. I know that, whatever. Alrighty, so, my good friends, this brings in the end of today's episode. I really appreciate that you were around for this one. We're going to continue our adventures on the next episode. So, well, it's going to be quite an exciting time now that we are getting closer to the 80 people. So there will be warfare, there will be goblins, and I'm looking forward to that. So drop me your comments, leave me your thumbs up, consider subscribing, and check out the description box. There's plenty of links to go around. Among these, my Discord channel, my Twitch, my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Buy Me a Coffee thingies, and also my YouTube membership thingy, which allows you to pre-browse all the things that I do in Dwarf Fortress. So if you're down to binge watching, it's just $1, and you can preview all the things that I have pre-uploaded. But don't you worry, it's all going to be released in time. I don't withhold any of these contents ever. That's just not what I'm after. Just want to give a little bit of a thank you for all the people that are giving support, because I wouldn't be nothing without you, my friends. That all being said, thanks for watching, thanks for being around, and I hope you all had a good time, and will come on by next time. And I hope we will have a good one than that one. And why is that all somehow not working out as intended? I'll see you there. Bye-bye.